As we have been for the last few days, talking to some of the youth that are participating in the elections this year. Today marks 20 days to the country's national and provincial elections. And according to the Independent Electoral Commission, that's the IEC, 15 candidates from 8 political parties participating in the elections are 18 years old and also first-time voters. 9 are female and 6 are male. Also, of the 27.79 million voters registered, 11.7 million voters represent persons in the age group 18 to 39 years. So this morning we continue that focus of ours on South Africa's youth and voting. We're joined by young South Africans who will, for the very first time, cast their vote on the 29th of May. Let me introduce you to them. Amahle Gantsho, she is 22 years old, a student at the University of Cape Town. And we've got Gcinile Jessica Cindi. She's 26 years old and a founder of the Young Proud Lesbian Legacy campaign. And we're joined by Iyedi Mashifane, 20 years old, and the chief convener of Young Woke Voter. Ladies, what a pleasure to have you here on the program, and welcome.
Hi, thank you so much. Hello.
Awesome, so nice. Gcinile, we haven't tested, so it's the first time I'm saying good morning to you as well. Nice to have you on the program.
Good morning, and how are you, ma'am? Thank you so much for having me.
Such a pleasure. We're so happy to have you. All right, so let's get into it, because this is it's a conversation that I want you to lead, as opposed to me leading it, because I'm sort of not in your age group anymore. I've voted a few times, so I'm just so interested to know how you guys are feeling, where you're at the moment. So let's begin. I'm just going to start with you, Iyedi, if I may. You're my first one. Talk to me about how you're feeling about going out and voting for the very first time. What are some of the emotions you're going through?
Thank you for this opportunity. I'm very excited to be voting for the first time in the national and provincial elections. I've grown up being a person who's very enthusiastic about politics, so to know that finally my voice can actually make a difference in the way our country is governed and how things how systems are going to be affected. It's exciting to know that there is significance in being a South African at this time. Yes.
Lovely. Well, I like that. I like the way you've put it. Amahle, let me ask you the same thing. How are you feeling ahead of your first vote?
I mean, I don't even know what to expect, Leanne. I'm like, must I write an X? Do I write a tick? I'm like completely, I'm so clueless. But I'm super excited. Yeah, similar to what Iyedi said, that it's an opportunity. I get to, have an impact. I get to even vote. Like, that's exciting. So I'm super excited to be able to do what I can to influence some sort of change, whatever that will look like. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling. Well, super excited, super nervous also.
I'm sure you are, but listen, let me educate you a little bit. So you just put a mark next to the political party that you want to vote for. Okay, so just put a mark, whether it be an X, whether it be a tick, whether it be a whatever the case may be, so that they can tell you what it is. But this worries me. So I'm going to quickly just stay with you for a sec. Have you not seen any sort of voter education around that? Has that not reached you to say, hey, you're a first-time voter, this is what's going to happen when you go into the polling station, you're going to get 3 papers, you got to choose these, this is what they stand for, these are the marks you got to make. Has this not reached you, honestly?
I mean, I'd say that I know that there was an information system when I went to Home Affairs. I went to Home Affairs like sometime, and so I remember that there were people from the IEC going around and just letting us know that I think we'll even have a 3rd ballot paper now. Is it regional? But we'll have a 3rd ballot paper. So there's been that kind of information. But that's the thing. I mean, I went to Home Affairs. It just so happened that I went to Home Affairs. So I'm thinking, what about the other people? So I don't think there's enough education regarding the elections, regarding the voting processes. I mean, at least as a law student, I think I have like relatively more education than my other peers, other people doing other degrees.
Yeah. I think that's an important point, and I hope the IEC are listening. I hope people are listening to. No, it's people are listening. I thought I'd just let you know that this is people are listening to you, and that's what's so nice about it. You got a big spot there, Amahle. So and so do all of you. Gcinile, is it? Would you like me to call you Gcinile or Jessica? Which one would you prefer?
I prefer Jessica.
Fantastic. I got you. I wasn't too sure which one. Jessica, how are you feeling? I need to ask you, if I'm not mistaken, you are 26, is that correct? 26 years of age?
Yes, ma'am. I'm 26.
Is this your first time voting, or have you voted before?
I've never voted before. This is my first time voting. This whole year is like, the whole year is like, I've been not giving myself an attention or when it comes to voting. I never believed in voting. I never believed in political parties and all that. But this year I decided to see the importance of voting as a young leader, the importance of raising your voice, because I know my vote is my voice. So this year I just decided, no, man, let me just swallow my pride and try to keep my mind on other things and focus in this elections of 2024.
Yeah. So let me stay with you for a little bit. Jessica, why? You know, because that, and perhaps you hold the key and the answer as to why so many of the youth are despondent and they don't want to participate in elections. They don't want to go there. What was holding you back? Why did you feel, this is not for me, I'm not interested? But now you've changed your way of thinking. Perhaps you want to take us to that moment of why you refused to go out and vote at one point.
You know, I was like, every time these people, they want us to vote, but they are doing nothing. Like, our youth is doomed. Like, our South African youth is doomed. And then why do they keep on saying we should vote, but at the very same time, after voting, we don't see any changes? You know, now they are mobilizing for young people to vote, but our youth, they lack knowledge when it comes to this thing of voting, because it seems like the government, whenever we start voting and then they win and then they mind themselves and they lose focus on why did we vote for them. And then I think they forget us as we are voters. And then I was like, I'm not going to vote. I will never. These people are fooling us. Every time we have to vote, but no changes. It's problems after problems. Our youth, the teenage pregnancies, unemployment rate, like, it's high. And then why? Because this voting thing doesn't make any difference in our lives.
Yeah.
So that is why I never voted before. So that was on my mind.
That's and one can't blame you, because that is the reality and the lived reality of so many young people in this country. Where was the moment that you decided, that's it, I am going to vote, and in fact my vote is going to make a difference? When did it change in your mind?
I can say Ahmed Katrara Foundation, AKF, they were able to grab my attention, and they were able to shift my mind on negativity that I had about votings and all that. Ne? And then they grabbed my attention and then educated me how it's so important for a leader to vote. How is it important for us to raise our voice? And for us to raise our voice, it's going to be through our vote. So that's when I started to say, no, okay, now I understand. Okay, now I follow. Okay, now I'm going to do this. It was this year.
Fantastic. Love that. So now that I've got your story, Jessica, I think it was important that was a nice foundation for a lot of the conversation that's going to follow, because Iyedi, for you in fact, as I mentioned in the introduction, you've got an organization that you run in Soweto. It's called a Young Woke Voters, and this educates people about the importance of voting. You listen to Jessica. Are these the stories that you hear all the time from the youth, saying, why? What difference does it make? Why must I go there? I don't feel it's going to even matter whether I pitch up or not. Iyedi, this is for you.
So I just wanted to clarify, sorry. So the events that we are running is called Young Woke Voters. However, the NPO that is actually running Young Woke Voters is called Pan-A Young Leaders. And that stands for Pan-African, but also A class. Hence we say Pan-A Young Leaders. You know, Jessica's story is definitely not a unique story. We hear this all the time from young people, where they feel really frustrated about how things have been going in the country, and how they feel that, you know, voting feels insignificant to them, because you vote and then you vote for for specific ideas, and then they don't come to pass. So it feels like we are voting in vain. And, you know, we really have to encourage young people to understand that you cannot make a difference if you're voting for the same people. You know, that's what insanity is, right? To be doing the same thing all the time and expecting different results. So we go to young people in marketing, in collecting data, and just trying to understand what is their understanding of what voting is, and do they understand the impact of what they can of their vote. You know, we've also heard young people just tell us that they don't feel interested in voting because that's not for their age group, that's for older people. And I think for me, I was really blessed in the sense that every single time my mother went to vote, I would go with her to an extent where I would even ask, can you please put the mark on my thumb too? And it wasn't allowed. They wouldn't let. But those are the small things that would excite me. So I'm not saying that the voting stations need to be filled with young toddlers and so on and so forth. But I think parents need to start having conversations with their children and making aware about voter education, about what's the significance of you placing your vote, and what you can and the opportunities that you could be creating for yourself. So yeah, we have heard stories like Jessica's and many more. Yeah.
There, I love that. You know, I do the same in terms of taking my kids to the voting stations. I've always done it. I've taken them with, and you know what? I won't even tell them who I vote for. That's our secret. We keep that our own secret. And they're like, but come on, I'll keep a secret. I'm like, yeah, okay, no problem. So yeah, I want my kids to come with and see the importance and get excited about the fact that they are going to come of age one day where they are able to vote. And this is the moment that all of you are now reaching, which is so lovely. Amahle, let's talk to you and perhaps maybe get a little bit more specific in terms of the representation of parties. You know, we had a nice conversation yesterday with a group of youth that are also voting, but they're a bit older than you and are sort of, you know, more used to the election process in terms of how it works and looking at the political parties but feeling quite despondent about them. But now, from your perspective, are there some political parties that you are seeing that are speaking to you as a young person? Or do you still feel that, no, I don't feel like they're speaking to me and my needs?
Well, I'd say that I'm still doing my due diligence in actually reading the manifestos. I mean, and even that in itself, like, where do you find the manifestos? Like, we'll be having conversations amongst like other students, and it's like, guys, you need to actually read. You don't just, oh, well, I like this color. Oh, well, they seem fun. They seem, robust and active. But we actually need to do, our actual due diligence in researching and trying to see what do these political parties stand for. So I'd say that I'm in that process. I wouldn't say that I'm like, this is what. I'd say that I'm still trying to see, okay, you guys said this before. Has this really happened? I mean, I'm staying in Cape Town, so I know the DA is very prominent here. So it's like, okay, cool. Let's see. Let's evaluate. Let's do the necessary things to see which political party I'm sort of aligning with, or the values that they have, are they similar to the values that I have? So I'm not sure if I'm answering your question yet, but I'd say that I'm still reading the manifestos. I'm still trying to scout and see, what's happening, what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you are answering my question, because I'm more impressed by your answer than I thought I would be, because not many people read the party manifestos. A lot of people do exactly what you said. It's like, I like their colors, or yeah, they look okay. He's actually quite cute. He's not a bad looking guy. I think I'll put my mark next to him. But hopefully it's deeper than that. But here's an important question. Hey, Amahle, a very important question. Your parents, so I don't know your background. I please forgive me in terms of not knowing that. So I'm not sure about your parents and their involvement with you and how they influence you, or even if they're still around. But have they had an influence on you in terms of how you're going to vote? Do you want to follow in their footsteps? Do they tell you what to do? Or is that not something that you're interested in?
I'd say that, I mean, similar to what Iyedi said, I'd see, my parents coming back from voting, and then I see the little mark, that they have. They're like, yeah, I voted. I have a mark on my thumb. But in terms of what they said, Leanne, they take your position. They didn't tell me. They'd say that it's up to you. It's your choice. And I'm like, no, but I just want to see, like, who did you vote for? But like, what happened? They're like, you need to do your own research.
Wow.
So I think my parents have always encouraged me to be my own person in that sense. They've never tried to affiliate or to influence in any way, whether it's this specific party, look at what they've done, you should vote for them if you're in this part of the family. So it's never been that. It's never been, I felt, pressured or imposed or anything. So I think I've had the privilege, I guess, to have so much freedom in, whichever political party I wanted to affiliate myself with. I think even, at uni, there's a lot of political parties. So you're able to see, even what they stand for, what they're doing. I feel like even, the students, the political parties that we have at the university, they sort of speak to what the mother body is, what the mother party, what they stand for, what they're about.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting. It's been a learning experience, but I wouldn't say that my parents have specifically said, this is the party we vote. And now that you're in this family, this is the party we vote for. It's this or like, oh, you don't vote. So it's never been,
it's not like that.
It's never been.
That's great. I'm happy to hear that. They are giving you the freedom to choose who you want to. We seem to have lost Jessica. Hopefully we'll get her back in. But Iyedi, the same to you. In terms of your parents' influence, because I know there's two versions of stories, because there are obviously some families that will try and convince their children, you have to vote, this is how we've always done it, exactly as you put it, Amahle. But Iyedi, your family, I mean, do you also have that freedom of choice in your family? Do you sometimes get frustrated by the older voter that keeps doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome, as one of you so brightly put it, saying that you're going to get the same outcome if you keep doing the same thing? What about you? Your influence within your family, does that affect you?
So interestingly enough, when I was younger, we would have conversations about, who are we voting for? Just at the dinner table, just to kind of grasp where people are leaning. towards, who people are leaning towards. But the older I get, the more this conversation is now very neutral. We just speak about the politics in general, but we don't we don't disclose who we're voting for. So it's fun in that sense, because then you hear people's political views and hear, oh, okay, you aligning with this, oh, you didn't appreciate this, okay, she's probably voting for this person. But we definitely, we don't go around saying, okay, this is who I'm voting for. Well, not in the house, but yeah.
Good. Okay. So again, both of you, freedom of choice here. So when you look at some of the political parties and, you know, you see those posters, Iyedi, I'm going to ask this to you because I think I already got Amahle's views on it. You know, are there parties that speak to you, that really resonate with you to say, wow, you know, these guys are addressing, and they are saying they're addressing those issues that are affecting me as the youth?
Absolutely. You know, even in this endeavor of putting together young woke voters, we've learned a lot from, you know, attending the different events. I find that a lot of young people don't have the opportunity, or the time rather, to be going around and, you know, going to every single manifesto launch, or going to every single campaign, this, that, and the fourth. So for us young woke voters, what we try to do is collect the data, if I could put it that way, and then provide a platform for young people grasp and understand, okay, this is what this candidate stands for. This is what an independent is. This is what a political party is. And, you know, for us, it's been important for us to address the redefined idea of voters' confidence. So you know how usually it's, oh no, confidence is in secret, but what we've realized now is that voters' confidence with our generation has been, I want to be assertive and understanding of who I am voting for.
Yeah.
So in us, just helping people feel that, you know what, it's not a problem if you don't know who you are voting for. You need to take the necessary measures, as Amahle has said, to get the information, because
and educate
like
yourself.
we say,
yeah,
exactly,
it's
because
important.
like we say, nobody's going to, you know, just download all the information into your mindsets. So with
you need
us,
to do the work, which is important. I'm sorry to cut you in there, but we'd lost Jessica for a while, and I've got her back. I can actually see, and we're about to get into the news time. So Jessica, I'm going to leave this final word with you. We've been talking about just in terms of, are there parties that speak to you finally, because you were a very apathetic voter, but now you're going there. Are there because you obviously are a very proud lesbian. You are the founder of the Proud Lesbian Legacy campaign in a youth development. So talk to us about that. Are there parties that speak to your needs and wants that has now sort of helped you decide as to who you're going to vote for? Not that I want to know who you're voting for, but just in terms of that decision.
Thank you so much. Many of them, they've been talking to me, like trying to convince me, we're going to do this and that, we're going to help you and build this and that. But then, you know, what I've realized is that these people, it seems like now they are recruiting us for their own benefit, you understand? I was saying these people, they are grabbing our attention in short time. It's like a month. It's a month before a month of voting, and then now they are working so hard to mobilize people to go and vote for them. You understand? Mm-hmm. But after voting for them, I know exactly that whatever that they are promising, they will never make it. They will never really make it to come true. They're giving us false promises. You understand? So now, I keep on analyzing the situation. Each and every one whenever they are coming to me saying, guys, can you guys vote for us? Can you please mobilize LGBTQI community for us? We know that they are in need. We know that they are facing problems and all that. And then I realized, no, man, these people, it seems like they want us to push their own agenda, you understand? And then I know now, who am I going to vote for on my own choice? And that person never approached me. That political party never approached me. So that means I have to go with them.
All right. Ladies, this has been very refreshing. One thing I have learned from this conversation is that political parties need to work hard for your vote. You're not just giving it to anybody. And you are being very, very educated in terms of voters. And the party that gets your vote should be privileged. And they need to deliver on what they've promised you. It's been so good. Thank you. Thank you for your views. Good luck. Enjoy. Bask in the moment. And you know what? Forget about the promises. You know what you need. And it doesn't matter. Nobody knows what you put on that ballot paper. It's your secret. Enjoy. And bless you all for this important moment in your lives. All right. Look at that. Wasn't that lovely? Young voters voting for the very first time in the South African elections.